Hey everyone, I'm Walter, and I'm back here once again to bring you Reddit stuff. You know the drill, we're going back to Ask Reddit, same thread as last time, and then maybe cover some posts if I don't fill up enough time here. So yeah, nice guys. Those guys who like to tell everyone they're nice instead of showing it. If they do show it, it's usually in the form of gifts or otherwise kind actions that are actually expected to be paid back in affection or sex. They're also often dicks to other guys in their single-minded pursuit of milady. Tried to mix up the traits I described them with this time. Anyway, let's begin, shall we? The nicest guys on Reddit. I guess it's more the victims who are on Reddit, but we'll just go with that title anyway. Once again, the thread we're on is called Attractive Women of Reddit. What's your nice guy story? Not sure why the word attractive is in the title. You only have to be attractive to one guy to post a story here, really. Okay, I have a few, but this one is my most bizarre story. My ex-roommate had this boyfriend who learned I was asexual and a virgin. He then started to get way too interested in me. Even after they broke up, would send me messages. I made it clear he was my friend's ex and I don't want anything to do with any of them. So one day he sent me this really fucked up message about how he is a nice guy and really concerned that I was blocking myself off to things in life, and as nice guy he was willing to show me the wonders of sex in a safe environment. If I wanted to watch other people, first to see how it was done he would arrange it. He suggested we start by watching porn together, learn to pleasure myself, then move to how to do oral and touch people, then sex itself. Wrote back saying something along the lines of, just because I haven't had sex doesn't mean I don't know anything about it. That I get myself off when I feel like it. I have been finding my own porn since I was 13 and I didn't appreciate this nice guy act to try to get into my pants. Yeah, that's awkward as shit. It's as bad as neckbeards hitting on trans men with milady. Imagine you're a straight man, gay guy comes up to you all like, "Oh, I don't think you're straight, you just never tried being gay. Why don't you try it? I'll teach you." And then just doesn't take no for an answer, no matter what. You're gonna tell him to fuck off, right? I've never been asexual, so I'm just trying to put it into easier terms. Feel free to let me know if I got it wrong. When I was 16 to 17, I was really into this dude who would just give me enough attention to keep me interested, so I would hang out with all his friends in a group setting. This lasted for around a year, so I became good friends with all the guys in the group. I needed help / wanted company picking out Christmas presents, so I asked one of the friends, Jack, to help me. We got along really well, so we started hanging out all the time, but I was still into original guy, thought it was understood. For Christmas, I got Jack a book he wanted, but he got me one of those cutesy homemade coupon books for free hangouts and massages and stuff. First red flag. Then he invited me to Christmas dinner. Alarms blared, so I let him down gently. A coupon book with actions? Oh my god, I forgot that was even a thing. Please never do that to someone you're not in a relationship with. I'd feel cringy doing it even if I was. What a nice guy gift. It was a complete 180 the next day. He would pretend to not hear me if I said something. Example, he would say, "Hey, did anyone watch the game last night?" I say, "Yeah, I did. What did you think about the winning goal?" He'd say, "Did anyone else watch the game last night?" He was the guy basically in charge of all of us hanging out, stopped inviting me to things. He got everyone in the group to stop talking to me. Eventually I moved on and got a new boyfriend out of the group, and all of the guys, all 12 of them, got on my Facebook and wrote hateful things, calling me names and stuff. Then later they tagged my car, calling me more hateful things. I wish I was over-exaggerating. Ah, so they were all garbage. Hope she found better friends at least. Talked to some guy at a bar. Not flirting, just chatting. I was married at the time, but on vacation with a friend, when I was on vacation in the Caribbean a couple years ago. He suggested we chat via WhatsApp to keep in touch, and I say sure because it seemed like a relatively low-risk way to contact a stranger from a foreign country without giving him too much personal info. I'd never used WhatsApp before, and due to exorbitant out-of-country cell phone fees, I wasn't using my phone / internet throughout the trip. Well, I got home from the trip about a week later, and after a couple days of settling in and getting back to real life, I remembered to download the app and try to connect with this guy. I set up the account and forget to check it for a day or two. When I do, I see a whole string of messages from him. He starts out with normal, "Hey, what's up?" but sends a dozen, "You there? Why aren't you answering?" all within a few minutes of each other. In less than 6 hours, it dissolves into him ranting and raving at me for being selfish and misleading for not messaging him back, and how all foreign girls lie and never want to talk again after they leave, and on, just being really vengeful and aggressive. This was a guy I made casual conversation with once one night for an hour or so to pass time at this cheesy bar, and learn a bit about what life working a resort in the Caribbean is like, because it was interesting. and there were no promises or anything made, just a casual, maybe I'll hit you up on that app you told me about. I immediately said nope, exited the app, uninstalled it, and was glad that he had shown his crazy before I'd actually messaged him back. Now I kinda wish I'd at least gotten a screenshot because it was pretty hilarious. This guy obviously had some anger and entitlement issues. See, this is why you don't do these things. She was going to message him and he'll never even know. Then again, you know this guy would have blown up just as bad when he found out she was married anyway. That bitch led me on, even though I'm sure she didn't. I'm usually the one not answering people personally. They never blow up on me like this though. I'd laugh pretty hard. When I was young and naive, I was desperate to become better friends with this really cool girl who lived near me. One day, one of her friends messaged me, a sort of attractive guy who was older than me. I was 17, he was 25, which now seems like a gross age gap, but at the time I just thought I was real mature. And as I thought they were good friends, we started chatting. Eventually he asked me out on a date. After much deliberation, I decided to go. When I went to meet him, apart from him being weird as fuck, not to mention that he wasn't actually that great mates with this girl, I noticed he wore makeup, which I found pretty odd. Not like goth guyliner and mascara, we are talking flesh-colored foundation. That was probably the least odd thing about this dude, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I realized pretty quickly that we had not that much in common, and that he was a bit too old for dating, so I let him know that I just wanted to be friends. We kept talking for a bit, and soon he started asking me really gross sexual questions, to which eventually I had to tell him that they made me uncomfortable. They stopped to an extent after that, but there was always an underlying creep factor I just didn't feel good about. A few weeks later, he asked to meet up with me again on the weekend of my birthday. This ass was so self-absorbed that he didn't even realize it was my birthday, so when I had to cancel to have dinner with my family and grandparents for my birthday, he went apeshit and posted a load of passive-aggressive stuff about me on the internet, saying I was messing him about. He was a nice guy who deserved better. I needed to grow up. Well, duh, I'm a fucking teenager. Yada yada yada. I was over it, so I blocked him. A year or two later, he added me on Facebook, and it looked like he was quite settled with a new girlfriend. Also aged around 17 to 18, funnily enough. Before I knew it, he was single, and he was posting the same shit about her, complaining that her mom called him to yell at him for harassing her daughter. He was actually calling a teenage girl immature and pathetic for shock, acting like a teenage girl and having her mother express concern over this creep that was being mean to her. From then on, there were a lot of self-pitying posts about what a nice guy he was, plus weird pictures of him with his shirt off. Gross allusions to how much he loved sex, and needed a girl to, satisfy his sexual appetite. And how he always gets fucked over in relationships, boo-hoo, etc. I got a boyfriend sometime later and he blocked and deleted me. It's now been 6 years without having to see his nice guy crap all over the internet. Good fucking riddance, you makeup-wearing clown. This reminds me of Lucas Werner complaining that the underage Starbucks barista could have dealt with it like an adult. No self-awareness at all. Well anyway, this guy's definitely a predator. But it's funny how he ends up looking like the child when he's the one dating 17-year-olds. Alright, so that's enough of stories. Let's go read some posts from Reddit Nice Guys, the greatest place on the internet to share nice guy posts you find. Girls don't like me because I make them think. Contrary to popular belief, girls don't actually like it when you're unique or interesting or when you ask them questions then listen to their answers. Every single time I meet a girl, once we get past all the "what's your major, where are you from" crap, and I steer the conversation towards something deeper like politics, religion, sex, anal sex, etc., she unfailingly loses all interest in me. If you think that's satire, the OP says, "Nope, was taken from a report about a guy who was arrested after making school shooter remarks." Yeah, anal can be a very deep subject if you know what I mean. If you have good guys who are into you in your messages, but you ignore them because you're hung up on one asshole/guy who doesn't want you, I just don't understand how you can complain about not being loved. A lot of people really have nobody out there for them. Not one person in their messages, not one person in their personal life who really desires them. I get that you're hurting, but when you whine constantly about how you're lonely, nobody likes you, you're ugly, hate being single, etc., but then you turn around and expose guys in your DMs or talk about how all the guys who like you are ugly or short. Just try to get some perspective? It kinda sounds like a spoiled rich kid saying she hates her parents for getting in the wrong car. I don't like it when girls post all "woe is me, nobody loves me" all the time either. It's just as annoying as when guys do it. But that analogy needs some work. Why should they have to settle for someone they don't want just because they don't want to be single? Little different from turning up your nose at a gift from a parent. It ain't my fault women today can't handle a real and loyal man when they can sit and bitch and complain that none exist. Trust me, ho, we exist. It's just unfortunate we don't meet your slutty-ass standards. Kill yourself. You're ruining the rest of the world for the rest of the real folk. Dumbass Cardi B lookalikes. Damn, that's a bitter post. PSA, National Friend Zone Appreciation Day. Remember, girls, today is the day you reward all the nice guys, and he's like a brother to me, bros, that stand by your side no matter what by showing them your boobs. They are still men and will appreciate it very much. If they try to touch or in some way wiggle out of the friend zone, firmly yet gently remind them this is a one-day appreciation reward only, and if they misbehave, they won't get to see them next year. Reward the nice guys out there and go back to the jerks for the long term. We appreciate your support. NFZ Day. Yeah, this is a good idea. We should get to it right after International Incel Day. I posted it to my Facebook too. Sure, it'll work. I want to take you out on another date. So that's a no. I'm sorry. I don't think it'd be a good idea. No worries. You are missing out a great guy that would treat you right. I heard what you did after you said that you were not interested in me anymore. I don't go after a girl that moves from guy to guy. I don't have the kind of appearance you are looking for anyway. No wonder why no guy wants to date you. You bitch about the stupidest of things. All you care about is yourself. By the way, I am not a liar. There's reasons why Jake and Dave blocked you. Have fun with that old man Joe. He's a good fit for you. I don't have the kind of appearance you're looking for. Date old man Joe instead. Alright, this last one is from a reformed nice guy looking at his posts on Facebook. They say that nice guys finish last. You know what? I'm a nice guy. I'm not perfect, but I've always had this compulsion to make everyone feel better. It puts a knot in my stomach to not say please and thank you, to not hold the door open for someone, to not give someone advice or be someone they can vent to. I honestly and truly care about other people, even if I'm not the most social guy ever. I've spent every second of my life thinking about how I am making other people feel. You know what I've learned from living life that way? I'll never get that in return. Realistically speaking, my expectations are set too high because I expect people to treat me the way I treat them. Day in and day out, I am continuously and painfully disappointed. As cliché as it might be, I remain blindly hopeful that there will be a day that someone will appreciate me for who or what I am. That someone will find me irreplaceable. Until then, I'll be that guy bringing up the rear. Well, the post is a little shameful, but it's not like any of the behaviors he mentioned are bad. And he didn't even really complain about women. Pretty tame for nice guy stuff, honestly. Always good to see someone break the mindset, though. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like and comment if you liked it, and if you're new and liked it, you should consider subscribing. This video took a lot longer than I was hoping, and I still want to make a Let's Not Meet for Halloween, but it'll be a little late. So let's wrap this up quickly. Also, thanks so much to my generous patrons who help me live, and more importantly, drink. Have a great night, everyone, and happy Halloween. I apologize once again for the lack of a stream, by the way.